As I stepped out of my car and into the cool evening air, an unsettling feeling began to creep in, tainting what was supposed to be a joyous celebration. Tonight was meant to be a night of love and gratitude, a moment to cherish with my wife Sophia and her family. Yet, as I approached the Grand Ember, the restaurant I had chosen with such care, I couldn't shake the sense that something was amiss. Little did I know, this evening would unravel into a revelation that would change everything. Upon crossing the threshold, I was immediately enveloped by the rich, savory aromas wafting from the kitchen, complemented by the soft strains of jazz that floated to the air like a comforting embrace. The lighting was dimmed to perfection, casting a warm glow over the elegantly set tables, each adorned with flickering candles. Couples and families filled the space, their laughter and the clinking of glasses creating a symphony of celebration. I felt my heart swell with familiar joy. There was something undeniably special about sharing an evening with loved ones, especially in such a delightful setting. However, as my gaze traversed the room, it landed on a table in the far corner, where Sophia sat with her family, her mother Lorraine, her father Gerald, and her younger brother Ryan. They were engaged in animated conversation, laughter spilling forth like a bubbling fountain. My initial excitement began to fade as I noticed the table was already littered with empty plates and half-empty glasses. Had they really started without me? I felt an uncomfortable knot tighten in my stomach. Approaching the table, I was met with a mix of joy and confusion. Sophia looked up, her expression inscrutable, a smirk playing at the corners of her lips. "Oh, excellent timing," she remarked, waving as though I were a mere acquaintance rather than her husband arriving for his own birthday dinner. Her nonchalance stung, and I felt a wave of disappointment wash over me. "Did you all start without me?" I asked, attempting to keep my voice steady, though the disappointment threatened to seep through. Ryan, with a mouthful of cake, shrugged casually. "Yeah, we got hungry." My heart sank further. Hungry? It was my birthday celebration, and they had already indulged without me, as if I were an afterthought. Sophia, seemingly unfazed, slid a small white slip toward me. Bewildered, I glanced down at the bill and felt my stomach drop at the exorbitant total. "This is your present," Lorraine quipped, her laughter ringing hollow in my ears. Gerald nodded, a smirk dancing on his lips, as if this was all a part of some inside joke. "Come on, it's only fair. You're the man of the house, aren't you?" The absurdity of the situation spiraled in my mind. Here I was, left out of my own birthday dinner, and now expected to pay for their meal. My fingers tightened around the check, and I felt a surge of indignation. "You really think I'm going to pay for this?" I asked, incredulous. Lorraine scoffed, while Ryan barely contained his amusement. In a moment of defiance, I tore the check in half, the sharp sound slicing through the air and silencing the table. Sophia's smirk vanished, replaced by shock, and Gerald raised his eyebrows in surprise. I felt a rush of adrenaline, a sense of empowerment surging through me as I pulled out my phone and made a call. When I hung up, Sophia leaned forward, curiosity replacing her earlier amusement. "What did you just do?" "You'll find out soon enough," I replied, my voice steady yet quiet. The atmosphere shifted, a heavy silence enveloping the table as I felt the tension rise. For the first time that evening, a flicker of hesitation crossed their faces. Moments later, the restaurant manager, Mr. Caldwell, approached our table, flanked by 2 security guards. "Forgive me, sir," he began, his tone polite but firm. "There seems to be an issue with the payment." I gestured toward Sophia and her family. "No difficulty at all. My wife's family insisted on treating me tonight." Lorraine's mouth fell open in disbelief. "Wait, what?" she exclaimed, her expression a mixture of confusion and indignation. "Because it only makes sense, right? You wouldn't invite someone out for their own birthday and expect them to pay, would you?" I crossed my arms, feeling a sense of satisfaction as I challenged their entitlement. Gerald shifted uncomfortably, while Sophia's face hardened. Mr. Caldwell remained courteous but resolute. "If no payment is provided, I'm afraid we'll have to take additional action." The tension in the air thickened, and I could see the panic begin to set in. "Sophia, fix this," Lorraine urged, her voice rising in urgency. Sophia's eyes narrowed at me, her amusement replaced by irritation. "You're really doing this?" I met her gaze without flinching. "You already did." The uncomfortable silence that followed was deafening. Gerald sighed. "Just pay the stupid bill." "No!" Lorraine snapped, her frustration boiling over. "This is insane. He's just being petty." The guards remained unmoved, standing as silent witnesses to the unfolding drama. I stood up, adjusting my blazer. "If they refuse to pay, feel free to involve the authorities." With that, I turned to leave, feeling a sense of liberation swell within me. For once, I was not the one left embarrassed or made a fool of. As I stepped back into the cool night air, I inhaled deeply, relief washing over me in waves. My phone buzzed in my pocket, and I glanced at the screen to see a message from Sophia. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I chuckled humorlessly, slipping my phone back into my pocket without a reply. I had sent a message of my own tonight, one that would resonate far beyond this single moment. When I returned home, the atmosphere was thick with unresolved tension. I confronted Sophia about our marriage, the lack of respect that had been festering beneath the surface. As the conversation escalated, it became painfully clear that the issues between us were far deeper than a single dinner. I challenged her to reflect on her feelings for me, and the response I received was harsh and dismissive, revealing a chasm that had grown between us. In that moment, clarity struck me like lightning. Our marriage had become a facade, a performance we both were tired of playing. I calmly stated, "Yes, Sophia, I think I do." Her expression shifted, disbelief washing over her as I declared that I was done. The weight that lifted from my chest felt liberating, and as I walked away from that confrontation, I felt a profound sense of clarity settling in. I sat at the edge of the bed, contemplating what it truly meant to end our 5-year marriage. I had fought for this relationship, but now it was evident. This was no longer a partnership worth salvaging. The truth was undeniable. Our marriage was over, and as I absorbed that realization, I felt a bittersweet sense of freedom enveloping me, allowing me to finally embrace the next chapter of my life.